Broussard, and we'll get to a huge threat to the Rockets and Warriors in a second. But first, Hawks Wolves. Check out Jeff Teague. Nice little spin move. The dime, CC.
What's the dime, Jenna?
That's the bucket.
No, no.
The rebound.
No.
Then the rebound. The second one was worse.
The assist, obviously.
Dropping dimes, Jenna. Come on. Jenna only knows about a different type of dime now.
Now, what does that even mean, Nick?
That was a compliment, actually. So, dimes are very attractive women in some parts.
Well,
I guess they also mean something else.
I don't want to play anymore.
Okay.
Knicks and Sixers, Dario Saric
Tim
with
Peace
the hustle on defense.
Dario
Touch pass
Saric
to Ben Simmons.
Has been playing well.
has been playing well, man.
This team is
A threat.
really tough.
Is a threat, man.
They're fun to watch.
They are. They are. And Markelle Fultz, man.
He had another, what, 7 assists last night?
He makes stuff happen.
Markelle Fultz has 15 assists in 28 minutes.
And actually hit a free throw, too.
Oh, wow.
It's been a rough year for the Grizzlies. Not sure why they didn't just drop this play for Wayne Selden every single time down the floor, just because textbook.
How's the Grizzlies doing, man? I thought they were tanking.
Worst 36 hours of their season.
Yeah, right.
Back-to-back wins.
Last
What
week
are
they
you
lose by
doing?
61.
Yeah, what are you doing, Memphis? You got a #1 pick to go after. Terrible wins for them.
And finally, when all else fails, just throw it up to LeBron James. That's what J.R. Smith does.
You see how LeBron, heady play though, you see how he avoided the delay of game? If he touches that basketball, it's a delay of game. Instead, he just went and watched it. Watch, on the first replay. Why you give me that like you've been to a bad onion season?
It was a heady play.
Yeah, not getting the delay of game after. Watch it on this
hanging
replay.
on the rim?
What
No,
about
he fouled
JR?
the ball, and then, no, not touching it.
Oh, no, that's it. He wants people to look at him.
Yeah.
This 2 weeks has probably been one of the best dunking weeks or periods of LeBron's career.
Absolutely.
We talked about that with the back injuries being cleared up.
Yeah.
It's the most dunks he's had in his career. I think that is a great stat.
Yeah.
A day of records here on First Things First. We talked about LeBron, now Karl-Anthony Towns. The Timberwolves big man put up big numbers last night in their win over Atlanta. He scored a franchise record 56 points to go along with 15 rebounds to win over the Hawks. You know who he passed? Not Kevin Garnett, Mo Williams. Meanwhile, the T-Wolves now in 7th place in the West, and they haven't even gotten their other star back yet, and Jimmy Butler. Chris Broussard, how big of a threat are the Wolves to the Warriors and the Rockets out West?
They're a threat to no one without Jimmy Butler. No one. I mean, I know Portland last night, but they just lost to Memphis. Now, my point is just mentally, the young guys are not ready. And that's fine because it takes young guys a while. But as much as I love Karl-Anthony Towns, as great as he is, I like Andrew Wiggins, they're not ready to win on a high level. And one reason you know it is because they're so bad defensively.
Oh, yeah.
You have a great defensive coach. I'm not going to blame this on Tom Thibodeau. I've seen him too much to know he's a great defensive coach, and they're 25th in the league in defense. So they are not yet ready to win at a high level. Now, they get Jimmy Butler back. I think they can make it tough, a tough series on Houston or Golden State. Maybe win a game or two, maybe with Golden State, especially without Steph. But no, without Butler, they're not a threat at all.
But here's the thing. Right now, I know they're the 7 seed, but they're a half game out of being the 5 seed.
And they're, what, a game and a half out of being
out of the playoffs. Right, that's how compacted it is. But the point that I'm making is, like, they easily could get up to the 5-6 line. And could they beat Portland in a series? Could they beat Oklahoma City in a series?
With Butler, yes.
With Jimmy Butler, absolutely. I think
and
they
he's
could.
supposed to be back.
I mean, one of the reasons that he went with the procedure he did was so he could be back for the playoffs, so we do expect him back. But I want to talk for a moment about Karl-Anthony Towns. CeCe, this is a guy, I think it's fair to say, you're of all the players in the league, this is one of the guys you're closest with, right? Of all the active players?
Through my relationship with Coach Cal, I've been able to strike up a relationship with him. And then also, he was very interested in meeting me because he was going to Minnesota. And so many people there know me and everything, and just the lay of the land. So we've been able to have a friendship. The thing to me that's really nice about him was, I know the story about him in high school. He's a Jersey kid, ended up going to Kentucky, hit a growth spurt. Man, he used to dribble the basketball. He was trying to play point guard.
He was a perimeter player.
Yeah.
In Jersey, because he's from the area I lived in, people thought he was soft. Because even when he did grow, he was still playing on the perimeter. So I was glad to see him play inside with Calipari.
And I've been able to see his game evolve, and it's evolved because of one thing. Man, he loves basketball. Man, he works hard at it. He has all these number of sequence of drills that he does. He has all these tapes of Kobe that he tries to duplicate the workouts that Kobe does, the shooting, the number drill that Kobe does on the three-point line, running full court, playing that game right there. He does that. So for me, I love to see young people develop, and he's one of the people. There's a reason why. He's the third best big man in the game. And look at Joel Embiid, and you got the brow. He's the third best big man. It's because of development. He's developed his game, and now the only thing that's keeping him from being as good as those other guys is becoming a two-way player. He's got to become a better defensive player, and I believe he'll work on that just like he worked on his shot, his mid-range game, to be able to get himself to be the player he is right now.
You mentioned their deficiencies defensively, and if you're a bad defensive team, you're going to be drawing dead against Houston or Golden State. Just period.
Yeah, most of the West.
Against most of the West, those two teams in particular. Yeah. Like, I think you might be able to just go outscore Oklahoma City, for example, but I think you're going to...
They'd have a shot against these other teams.
Absolutely. Right. You said, you were like, listen, I just know Tibbs is a good defensive coach. And his history says, you are absolutely correct. His history in Chicago.
In Boston.
Absolutely, as an assistant. That's where he kind of made his bones, was as a defensive-minded assistant. I don't understand how they're not better defensively. Jimmy Butler is an extraordinary two-way player. I know he's been out recently, but that 25th rating, it's not like it was way better when Butler was playing. Bad. Andrew Wiggins, when he came out of Kansas, what everyone said is worst case scenario is he's a lockdown defender. He has been a negative defensively. What do you just attribute that to the players not doing what they need to do?
The only thing is effort. It has to be effort because and this is true with, I can go to Cleveland and say the same thing. Ty Lue knows defense. Tom Thibodeau knows defense. I mean, most teams do so much of the same stuff anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not that you're not being taught the right ways to defend or what your scheme should be or your rotations or whatever. If you have the athleticism and the strength,
then it's effort.
Then it's just effort.
Yes.
And desire to do it. And that's where young guys, LeBron wasn't a good defender early in his career. Young guys don't understand the importance of it until it's like, okay, now the pressure ratchets up. You better start winning. Oh, yeah, you put up nice numbers, but you don't win. And then players feel that and say, okay, I got to start doing whatever it takes to win. And that's when you decide you're going to defend.
Yeah, I think one of the hidden stories coming out of Minnesota could be not the emergence of Cat as one of the elite players, not Jimmy Butler coming back. But if they were able to get matched up against Golden State in the first round, I believe they can give Golden State problems. But the pressure would be on Andrew Wiggins. We heard a couple weeks ago about him not being happy being the third guy. Nothing like the playoffs to be able to right or wrong. If he was able to be able to hold down some of those wing players and have the offensive productivity to potentially pull off an upset in that first round, I would like to see Golden State play Minnesota as one of those first round matchup in the West.
The thing I didn't like about the Wiggins report that he's not happy, he doesn't look like he has the demeanor or the engine of a #1 guy. He's got the ability,
but 2 stars.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's a third option on a team. He's not the third option on the Hornets.
He's viewed as a third star.
He's third option. Just real quick here. You said Minnesota. Well, the team in the West that you think would give Golden State the most trouble in round 1 with Golden State not having Steph. Who do you think that is? Do you think it's OKC?
OKC.
You think it's OKC? All right.
Yep.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.
Great
See
job.
you a little bit later on. Coming up.
That's awesome.
Take it back.
I didn't know.
Big shakeup in the NFL draft. Next on First Things First.
Oh, I do know. We got to talk
that?
about a record that was tied last night.
Hey.
I forgot.
Bundesliga on Fox.